New tonight at 6, more claims piling up about the city not recycling your recyclables. This comes after KHOU 11 investigates caught a garbage truck picking up the green bins. A lot of you were ticked off about this, especially because all those recyclables went straight to the landfill.
That's where they went. And the city says this was an isolated incident. But is it? The KHOU 11 team is standing for Houston and getting answers. Jeremy Rogowski, in fact, has new video from a homeowner showing this has happened before.
But first, Adam Bennett talked to council members who say they want to see action. Adam?
Recycling wasn't on the city council agenda today, but it definitely was on the minds of several council members. Even those who have never gotten complaints from their constituents told us they want to make sure what they saw in our report is just a one-time incident. What should happen next depends on who you ask. Councilmember Dwight Boykin suggested proper training and reports from solid waste higher-ups. Councilmember Michael KHOU says someone needs to routinely review video footage from cameras on board those trucks. Councilmember Brenda Stardig wants the administration to investigate and suggests following the paper trail. She told me her constituents have been very upset.
They've lost confidence in the fact that if it's not going to be picked up on time, when is it going to be picked up? And then where is it really going? Is it going to the landfill? Shame on anybody. Shame on anyone that lets that happen.
Councilmember Robert Gallegos chairs the committee that oversees the solid waste department. He says if more videos or evidence surface of this happening somewhere else, he'll bring up the issue to investigate. And KHOU has requested months of records from the city to determine if this was more than just a one-time deal. Reporting from City Hall, Adam Bennett, KHOU 11 News.
Thanks, Adam.